J.D. Vance appeared with Dana Bash, and he attempted once again to make it seem like somehow the president, Biden, was anti-Semitic, while Trump and the Republicans are the bastions of support for our Jewish citizens in Israel. Of course, it could not be further from the truth, because we know that the majority of anti-Semitism occurs with a Republican base that have even marched on the streets with the support of the president singing, "Jews will not replace us." So sometimes it's upsetting that we don't get these hosts to challenge when that impression is made by the person they're interviewing. And Dana Bash, while she didn't do it as in a form that I would appreciate a bit more forceful so that Americans can understand what's going on, at least she pushed back. I want you to listen to this snippet from an interview that she did with J.D. Vance, and then we'll take it on the other side. J.D. Vance is a Republican senator from Ohio. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
Historically, the notion of saying to Jews, you should put Israel first and what happens in Israel first, and not sort of consider them American citizens first, has been used as an anti-Semitic trope. Do you recognize that there? And perhaps that language isn't exactly on point when you're talking about something that is very, very, it's like a tinderbox right now.
We have to remember Donald Trump is very direct here.
But you said he was right.
And he hasn't singled out Jewish Americans. He singled out a lot of people for voting for Joe Biden and suggesting they've got to wake up and elect him as president in 2024. So I don't think there's any effort to single out Jewish Americans. And just on that particular question about tropes, I mean, look, we know that Jewish Americans and non-Jewish Americans care about our ally Israel. We know that Jewish Americans and non-Jewish Americans care a lot about these ridiculous protests. I actually have a friend of mine whose brother was graduating from Columbia who had the graduation ceremony canceled. And that's a non-Jewish person who cares a lot about these anti-Semitic protests. So I think the fact that Donald Trump is talking about Jews in that particular context does not mean he doesn't think the same lessons apply to a whole host of American citizens.
Yeah, because he did say that any Jewish person who voted for Joe Biden should be ashamed of themselves. I want to move on.
But he's made similar comments about a lot of different groups of people, Dana. I don't think anybody could look at the presidency and the conduct of Donald Trump and say, this is a person who's somehow anti-Semitic. And I think whether you're Jewish or not, you should be looking at the record of Joe Biden.
He had dinner with Nick Fuentes, who is an avowed anti-Semite.
It is important for us to understand that while Donald Trump and all of them are trying to politically harm the president for holding back bombs that would kill many innocent Palestinians, because Netanyahu is what I can only refer to as a murdering war criminal, it's still, they would want one to believe that Biden doing the right thing, Biden doing the humane thing is what it's wrong. It's anti-Semitic, while they are standing up for Israel when they themselves are the anti-Semitic ones. I want you to start believing your eyes. We take a look at what Netanyahu has done to Gaza, and you take a look at the people having coffee and drinking and having fun in Tel Aviv, in Haifa, and all these other cities in Israel. You wouldn't even know there's a war a few miles down the road, because Israel is protected by an iron dome, a lot of it from the United States of America. And while they are plummeting and plunging the Palestinian people. Come on, folks, believe your eyes.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.